What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king. Welcome back to more Let's Play Destiny. In the last episode, we ventured into the Black Garden, following up on a lead left to us by Rohan, and eventually tracked down the conceptual mind, the architect behind the Black Heart, the very same Black Heart that we took down all the way back in the vanilla campaign of Destiny 1, and in doing so, we were able to get our hands on this machine gun right here, Deterministic Chaos, which is a Void user's dream, although in a lot of ways it's kind of overkill and also really understated. It's an interesting weapon. Honestly, I'll say for crowd control, which is usually what machine guns are for, I don't like it very much, but for boss DPS, which is not what machine guns are usually for, it's actually really, really good. So, interesting weapon that you can definitely put to use in certain builds. I might actually make something with it in the future. But right now, we're back to Quicksilver Storm. I'm focused on this. Let's talk to Nimbus.
You got the goods. Osiris rallied a team of researchers while you were out. They've been itching to get their mitts on this. I knew you'd get the job done. Seriously, I don't want you to think I charged in there because I didn't trust you. I guess I was just after something else. Something you can't find in the Black Garden. Or anywhere else. I thought I had accepted death. That's part of the whole Cloudstrider deal, you know? Our service, our sacrifice. I'm not afraid of dying. Really, but I never considered what it'd be like to keep fighting when... And I know this pain is to remind me that I'm still breathing, but how can I when there's this giant hole where a person used to be? He didn't prepare me for this part. At least now I get why Osiris is the way that he is. I owe him an apology. And I owe you my thanks, Guardian. Thank you for everything.
Now that quest was some actual good and honest character building. Thank you very much for that, Bungie. I like Nimbus a lot more when we actually get something deep out of this character. Thank goodness for that. A lot more than we got in the actual campaign, I will say that much. Okay, let's head back to the Hall of Heroes so that we can finish up this particular quest. And then what we're going to basically be doing today is very simple. We are just going to be working on finishing Tahiro, as well as the Stargazer quest. We're going to work on both of these. These quests right here, the Stargazer quest, these are essentially, or at least the point of them is they are supposed to be the weekly quests that came out with the expansion. So if you finish Stargazer, you weren't supposed to be able to jump into the next Cloudstrider Memorial-themed quest until the following week, and so on. But because we are doing this so far after the expansion's launch, we're just going to be able to basically do them all in order. That was kind of the idea. They're just like a passive thing you were supposed to do, which is why they feel like a little extra tedium on top of tedium, if that makes sense. Let's approach this thing.
When you said you understood, I never asked why.
She saved me. As she always did. Throughout all the lives we shared, she was always my better. Just before she told me don't lose hope in the darkness. She must have known what I'd find here.
What was her name?
Sagira.
Nice of them to have a little bit of closure there at the end. All right. Let's looks like we got one more thing to say to Nimbus, so I guess we might as well talk to them again.
Good to see you.
What do you got for me now? Ooh, Parting the Veil. Hey, Guardian, thanks for coming down. Nimbus is eager to get to work as they stand up, clapping their hands together. We've had some weird Vex activity going on across the city in the last couple weeks. When I sent the data to Osiris, he got all excited about it. Nimbus smirks. You know how he gets. Nimbus rolls their shoulders, ready for action. Osiris thinks whatever the Vex are after has to do with the Veil, and he wants you to look into it. Collect some data, see what they've been digging into. Nimbus sighs. Problem is, we don't have a lead on the Vex, but the Shadow Legion does, so we're going to pay him a visit, bust a few heads, and figure out which Vex we need to target. Nimbus slaps a fist into their open palm. I'll be on Overwatch, they eagerly explain, and the old man will be in your ear the whole way. Then Nimbus raises their brow, motioning to the Overlook's edge. Ready to roll? Not quite. This quest right here, Parting the Veil.
Me in this fact-finding mission, Guardian. There is much to uncover about the Veil, and your work here is indispensable.
I got you on Overwatch. Let's get to work.
Oh, and we will get to work in due time. Right now, I'm not really going to worry about it all that much because this is actually a quest that was not part of Lightfall when it came out, if you can believe it. This was actually retroactively added to Lightfall 2 seasons later. Yeah. For some reason, Bungie thought it was a good idea to expound upon the Veil more than what we've gotten out of that quest we just finished, which involved deterministic chaos, 2 seasons later. Why they decided to do that? Don't ask me. Don't ask me. All I will say, though, is I don't really want to get into it just yet. We are going to work on it here relatively soon, and it's actually going to be nice to do because we do get a pretty decent hand cannon out of doing so, a very unique hand cannon. But for right now, we're going to focus on Tahiro and Stargazer, both of which I'm going to track. First things first, for Stargazer, we are going to want to head off to the Zephyr Concourse. Let's go do that first. And we will kill a Vex Hydra over that way. Should be pretty simple to do. Then we can head off to the Typhon Imperator and deal with the next part, which actually I'm going the wrong way here. Let's head on over this way and ignore that public event all to... Well, actually, wait. No, I'm not going the wrong way. Hold on. This is what happens when you have 2 quests tracked at the same time. You start to get turned around. No, we want to go over this direction and head... And if I can... Let me actually deactivate... this one here, just to make sure I know I'm going the right way. The SC terminal is, if I'm not mistaken, over this direction. I'm almost 100% positive of that. And I would like to be able to kill this thing. Oh, what's up, Jisoo? We're going to hear this guy again.
Vanguard operative within our fair city. Mr. Ghost, can you hear me?
Hello? Who is this?
I'm Jisoo Colorado. Can you tell us more about your relationship with your guardian? What role do you play in defense operations?
You're that news reporter. How did you access this channel?
Do you consider yourself a representative of the Vanguard, or the Traveler itself?
I don't. Please talk to Osiris. Suppose we're going to keep saving the world over and over. We'll need to get used to talking to the press. Eventually.
Boo! That's a lame joke. All right, well, apparently Jisoo wanted to talk to the ghost about things, but we're not going to let that happen because Jisoo is an annoying character. All right, let's get to killing this Cyclops, and then we'll eventually be able to get on up to... I think there was a Hydra that we also have to kill as well. That's what I thought. Yeah, there you are. Oh, boy. Hello there. Just a second while I kill all of your friends here. Let's focus on the Wyvern. Okay. Can you not do that, please? Here, have that. Actually, I'm just going to do this. Much as I want to save those for the actual Hydra itself. Tried to do the amount of sustained damage to take you out. Oh, my gosh. Even with Sever, that's not going to be enough to really stop the insane damage that those cause. Where did that Wyvern go? Did I actually... I don't know if I actually killed it or not. Okay, well, let's try to take this thing out. That was an ill-advised shot. Hold on. There we go. There's some damage. Apparently, I did kill it. I don't know. I didn't think I did, but I will take credit for it, I suppose. Here, no. You stay severed for a moment so you can't really damage me. Perfect. High security passcode retrieved. Obtain Eternal Overload Cleave by completing public controls, looting chests, or completing... Yeah, we have to do more frickin'... more basic things around just to get yet another terminal overload key, as if doing the one terminal overload wasn't enough. Ay. All right, we're going to ignore that for the time being, and we're going to set up, or go back to Hero. So let me actually fast travel straight back to Strider's Gate, and we will then head off towards Ahimsa Park and go that way, because it's just so much easier to take care of it by going in that direction than anything else. Also, ooh, I will take some of these things that I just got on the track. You know what? Not a bad roll. Honestly, not a bad roll. I think I'll take that. I need to put some of this stuff away in the vault, man. I am letting myself get really over-encumbered with the number of things that I have. Anyways, let me just speed away from the vault here really quickly, because I would rather not do that right now. And I deliberately aimed away from the ground with my Sparrow so that it wouldn't explode, and then I'd have to wait for the cooldown to end before summoning it again. That's why I dropped it into the pit there. And we're going to head on over this way. All right. So this is going to actually involve a full-on boss fight. So we're going to want to make sure that we have the best stuff equipped that we can possibly get for this. So let's head up here. And again, we're not going to be able to use our Sparrow through most of this, so do keep that in mind. It's going to cut us off right about here. If only I had access to a skimmer right now. I do not, but they are a different type. I mean, well, they're basically the vehicles that Cloudstriders use, and you can use those to actually leap over those sorts of obstacles. Maybe able to get through here a lot faster, although it would probably all come to an end right about here anyway, so maybe it wouldn't be that wonderful. All right, let's start taking these guys out. And notice that they actually give us a portal here right in the entryway, right in the lobby, that it lets us go somewhere. So let's take it, go on through here. And then we're just going to kind of go past these guys. What's up, Colossus? Actually, nah, I don't. Well, no, I do. I want to fight you, don't I? Okay, we'll take you out. Hold on. One at a time. There. Very, very simple. All right, so hero is done. I thought that there was going to be more to it than that, but I was evidently wrong. And there is more to it that we are going to do here in the Typhon Imperator later, but I guess not here? I thought I could have sworn there was more, but all right, I guess I was wrong. No, get out of here. You too. No, I said put your shield away while I kill all your friends here. What did you drop over there, huh? That is actually a very good question. I would like that, whatever it is. Here, let me launch a few grenades at you guys. There we go. What is this exactly? More Vex tracking data. Hold on a second. Let's take a look at that really quickly. Parting the Veil. Oh, yeah, we're working on that. Of course. That makes sense. All right, well, let's go back to Nimbus. I really thought that was going to be like a full-on boss fight, but I was apparently wrong. I must have had my quest mixed up. There is one that we will be doing. I can promise you that. Let's talk to them again. See what you have to say.
Good to see you.
Seeing a few more hopeful faces around lately, knowing you're here to help really keeps morale up. You know, the people of Neomuna appreciate it, and so do I. I would love to take that hand cannon, but apparently I am full. Okay, now I'm going to access my vault and put some of this stuff away that I haven't been using at all, like Empirical Evidence, Nox Perennial. Probably going to actually put Appetence away for a while. We'll get all of that out later, if I ever need to again, for whatever build I end up putting together. Round Robin, a Strand hand cannon, and one that can actually get some pretty decent perks at times. Not that, though. I mean, Keep Away's good. Harmony, not my favorite on a primary. On a special weapon, yes, that's really good. But on a primary, not my favorite. But yeah, that can get some pretty darn good perks. Honestly, I would prefer Hatchling, honestly, above anything else, but I will still take it. That quest is now done. I gotta get these terminal freaking overload keys, and that's just gonna be something that's gonna take me a long freaking time to do. I suppose what we can do is I can basically just work my way around different areas here until eventually I get the key, and then we can see where the Stargazer quest leads us from there. So I will see you all until I have found myself a terminal overload key. Give me just a moment. There it is. Oh my goodness. And it's going to make me do another frickin' terminal overload in the same quest. Are you kidding me, Bungie? Do you really hate me oh so frickin' much? You know what's worse, too, is I literally just got done doing a terminal overload before I came over to finish this patrol, and I didn't have a key to open that chest. And now I have the key to open that chest. I'm so done right now. Oh my gosh, thank goodness. How many more of the events am I going to have to do today for terminal overload? This is driving me up a wall. All right, let's open that chest up. Maybe I got something good. Probably didn't, though. And we got ourselves Stargazer done. Return to the Hall of Heroes to repair Stargazer's memorial. Let's do it. I should probably also mention, as far as the terminal overload weapons are concerned, which one you get, it does depend on the day. Like, the weapons are on a daily rotation, so you're always going to get the same one. If you want to farm a specific weapon, just keep playing terminal overload that day. The keys, once you start to actually accumulate them from doing various things throughout Neomuna, you're not going to really run out of them very easily. They're actually pretty easy to get your hands on. It's just you have to kind of get in the combat and gameplay loop of playing through this over and over before you really get to that point. But let's repair this thing. And Stargazer's memorial is complete.
How to describe? Algorithm is inaccurate, but acceptable shorthand. It's an occlusion in the way, perhaps, but if we ride along the edge, accelerated processing, gravitational lensing as applied to data.
That was a lot of gibberish. At least we got to hear what they sounded like, at least for a little bit. All right, Quinn, let's talk.
Let's see what I can do for you.
Oh, yeah, that's Metropolitan Defense. Sorry, I got to finish that. Found Stargazer's algorithm in the data you recovered, except it's not an algorithm. They called it the occlusion. Love this stuff. My data crawler also pulled some old library records showing who else accessed Stargazer's archive back in the day. Maelstrom. She was the greatest military mind in history, and she's one of our Smash servers. It can't be a coincidence that this occlusion spooked the Vex. Maybe Maelstrom kept a back of it on her server. She was a warrior, so go start some fights. And that means we are going to get the Maelstrom part of the quest next. This one is bonding with strand sources and participating in public events, patrols, and loot resources, all within the Vex incursion zone. This is something we're going to work on probably in the next episode because I think I'm done running terminal overloads for the time being. Let's end this episode, though, really quickly by spending the last of my strand meditations to fully unlock strand. I think I have enough. I think I needed 300 if I remember correctly, because I only needed to get 2 fragments and then the grenades, and then I should be good. The last remaining aspects, these are going to be something else. We'll talk about this a little bit later. We need to do that Parting the Veil quest to get to those, but I'm really excited to talk about those as well. Let's just grab these last 2, Thread of Finality and Mind, and then also the Threadling Grenade and the Shackle Grenade. And there we go. Now that all of that is done, we have the final strand. Now that you master the power of strand, the time has come to get creative with it. Meditating at the Puka Pond sparks an exciting notion. How might you incorporate strand energy into your weapons? The Cloudstriders have developed some interesting weapon systems over the years. Perhaps Nimbus could help you out with their nanites. At the very least, they'll be able to brainstorm on a cool new gun. Visit Nimbus and Strider's Gate to discuss incorporating strand into a weapon. All right. So we'll have to talk to Nimbus, and we will do that in the next episode. I'm actually going to end this episode in particular by grabbing some stuff from the vault. You know, I got to be honest. I'm actually genuinely impressed by how quickly I was able to get all of that strand stuff unlocked. I did it in the matter of a single day. Like, I've recorded this like all of the gameplay from the end of the campaign up to now, I have recorded in a single 4-hour session. So I'm honestly impressed that I managed to do that much while also juggling all of the other quests and getting that much done. So it's honestly a lot more painless than I originally thought getting strand to unlock. But I'm going to grab a couple of these things here, take a look and see what we have here. Ooh, now that is actually a synchronic roulette I can get behind. This could be interesting. I don't know if I want to like change Rosargo's damage type though. I think I'll pass on that one. But I really like that synchronic roulette I just picked up. In fact, I like it better than my pulse monitor kill clip one because this one actually synergizes with strand a little bit, and I can have some fun with that a little bit later. But all right, guys, that is going to be it for this episode. Next episode, we will talk to Nimbus. We will put this final strand quest underway. We will also start working on the Maelstrom quest. And then Parting the Veil. I managed to get all of the Vex tracking things that I needed for step 1 while I was trying to get the last quest done, the one for finishing up the first Cloudstrider memory. Why am I already forgetting their name? Oh my gosh. You get the point. The one we just finished. Regardless, was able to get those just kind of naturally as I was playing. We're going to also be working on Parting the Veil. We're just kind of juggling between these quests, which I know is a very different approach from how we've done it in past expansions. My main reason for doing this is just the fact that Lightfall in and of itself is kind of a jumbled mess, and none of these quests are really, I think, interesting enough to solely devote time on, except for the Deterministic Chaos quest, actually. I feel like that's the only one that really kind of deserved all of that focus. The Final Strand one isn't too bad either, but really the Deterministic Chaos is probably the only one that really stands out. The rest of them are just kind of do things around Neomuna, and we will continue to do those things around Neomuna in the next episode, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I will send you off with a look at how close we are on a Catalyst progress. You know what? 62%, not bad. See you all in the next one.